Well, welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Today you are going to get really a true look at real homesteading as it goes throughout the entire day. Today is going to be about 100 degrees and Lisa and I got a lot to do. Yesterday we got done with the rest of our meat birds, 25 more Rangers processed. This evening they're going to get butchered, put into cuts, and vacuum sealed inside the air conditioning in the farm shop. But first we're going down to the garden. A lot of picking to do, guys, so we're going to get on that first. Guys, thanks for stopping in. Hit that like and subscribe if you hadn't. And if you have, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. Before I get too far ahead of myself, everything's got to be watered, y'all. We've been in about a month-long drought. Had all that flooding there early in the spring, right after planting the gardens. And now we've just been in, seems like a desert. So I'll get all this watered up here, because y'all, there's so much up here to pick too. Everything's coming in, it seems like at once. And so is everything else we have to do. So today's gonna be a busy day. It's getting hot, hot, hot.
And I think I've got to go down behind you
Because I'm not the best picker in the world.
Like right there, plain sight.
I'm pretty good at granting, but not picking.
All right, yeah, but we won't get, we'll get a second picking off of these.
We'll get a big second picking.
We'll get a big second picking, but there won't be a third. It's just turned way too hot and way too dry, so, I mean, there's little ones there.
And down here in the best plants, they're loaded with beans, y'all. Loaded with beans. So.
Yeah, but the blooms that are coming out that would be our third picking are falling because it's too dry and it's too hot.
Now show them these October beans.
The October beans, they're beautiful, loaded.
They're turning.
But you know that they're ready to pick when they completely turn that pink mottled color. They're not filled out well. So
but one little shower, they'll be perfect. And you'll be surprised, we're still going to get beans.
Oh yeah,
they're just not going to be.
There's 2 rows of them, but it's not going to be the bumper crop that
we're used to.
It would have been if we hadn't turned into the Sahara the past week and next week coming. So.
But it's a good thing I didn't double row them because they are extremely bushy. We wouldn't have the beans we have right now if I double rowed.
No, they look. I mean, they look good. So we'll see. Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
That one's not. That one's probably week and a half from being fully turned, and they're like pea size.
Well, a whole lot can happen between now and then, right?
That's true.
A whole lot can happen.
It can.
Think positive. It's getting hot, y'all. Getting hot. Anyways, got a bunch of banana peppers picked. You saw that. Lisa's going to check the jalapenos. Got several that are getting big, but don't know if there's enough to do a cannon yet for cowboy candy. But we'll check on all that. Some tomatoes are dropping off the vine. I think it's because it's been so dry. They're just falling off. No bug pressure of any kind, really. And we've noticed that the drier it is, the less bug pressure you have anyhow. I don't know what it is about sultry and damp. Bugs love it, but we'll get what we can get out here. And later on, we'll take you up here as we're butchering some chicken. Let you see that. Not a bad haul, y'all, for just about an hour down there in the garden or so. 5 gallons of green beans. That's a plenty for us to deal with today, not to mention all the chicken that we have to do. So there'll be some, probably putting these in the fridge inside the shop. There's already 3 or 4 pounds in there. I fried some last night, battered them and fried them. Green beans, y'all, those are so good. So did that, and we've still got the raised bed green beans to get picked. We'll do that this evening when the shade's back on them. But for now, we're gonna get set up and start butchering all of this chicken and getting it packaged. I don't know that we have ever shown y'all our chicken butchering setup, but we're gonna show you today. And so basically all that we do, y'all, is I take this big heavy red oak table that my brother built, set it up on sawhorses, throw a cheap drop cloth, plastic drop cloth over it, so that there is no cleanup to that to have to do. Unlike when we do pigs, we have to clean that whole thing up every single time. So put the cheap drop cloth on, and then we've got this nice cutting board that we purchased this year to do pork and chicken on. It's just a whole lot better than a small piece of that, I don't know, I forget what you call this stuff, just cutting board material, but it works great. And we keep 2 big meat lugs right here, and the reason we have 2 is we put ice in the bottom one, fill it up with ice about halfway, and sit that one on it. That way, as we're doing our individual cuts, the chicken goes in there and it's on ice. We are never letting our chicken get above a safe temperature while we're working with it. And then over here on this table in front of the refrigerator, Lisa will have her vacuum sealer set up, and she will be vacuum sealing the cuts. And because none of what we're doing today is for resale, we won't label it. She'll put it with a Sharpie the date, but we can tell what the cuts are. Nothing's for resale, so nothing's going to get weighed. But y'all, these hens are nice and big because we let them go 2 weeks longer than the roosters. Mainly because we've been so busy we hadn't been able to get to it. But we'll get that done today, along with our green beans and everything else we got to get done. And I'll show y'all one chicken cut up. And these have been packed on ice for close to 24 hours now. And that's what you want to do, and keep the water drained off of them so you're not waterlogging your bird. But we left the necks on yesterday just for sake of time, so I'll go ahead and get that off real quick. That's pretty easy. And that's going to end up being for a broth pack is what we'll do. And I use a fillet knife and an old hickory. Sometimes I'll transition back and forth, but I am no expert butcher by any means, but I have butchered probably at least 500 of these chickens now. And so the way that we do it works for us. I start with the wings. And you'll see the little joint right there. And I try to get just a little bit of the breast because I just think that's a treat when you're having chicken wings, to have that little bit of breast on there. See there? That little bit of breast meat. This makes for a better wing in my opinion. After I've done that, I switch over here to get my old hickory, switch over here to the legs, and basically, you just go down through the joint, pop the leg right off. And you got a perfect drumstick every single time. After the drumsticks, flip that bird over, and I'm going to get the thigh off of here. And one thing about a bird is on the backbone there's a little nugget of meat right in here. And so what I do is I come over here to that nugget of meat to make sure that I get it, because there's no sense in putting that in a stock pack. I'm going to break it over. You see the little joint right there? Just take your knife, follow it as close to the tailbone as you can, because you're getting every little bit of meat off of that you can. But that's a thigh. Repeat on the other side. There's that little nugget of meat. Go up there to it. You'll feel the bone. Just follow the bone. There's the ball, the joint. And there you got the meat. That's the meat coming off of the tailbone back here. So you're not wasting it just for a stock pack. Not that that's waste, but every bit of meat you can get on the thigh is what you're looking for. Now that I've got just the breast remaining, I take the tailbone right here, backbone, peel it up, and you cut it right off. Stock pack along with the necks. Now all I've got is the rib cage and the breast. I'll flip it over, get my knife, my old hickory down in here beside of the rib cage, and break it. And I'll come back on this side of the rib cage and cut that off. So there is your little backbone, stock pack. Now you have 2 bone-in breasts with all of the rib meat. You're not losing any of it. Take that old hickory, right down through the center, break it, knife through. 2 perfect breasts every single time. And these are hens, y'all, and that's a good sized bird. I think what we will do is Lisa will package a whole bird cut up first. That way you can see how much this hen weighs, minus the back, the neck, the stuff that you're not going to fry up or put on the grill or whatever. But there's a whole chicken cut up. Lisa's going to package this entire hen. And y'all, these hens that we processed yesterday are exactly 11 weeks old. Normally, we do not go that long. The roosters were 8.5 weeks when we processed. But we've just been so busy, y'all, so we had to kind of hold them over. We have not been feeding them the full ration for the past 2 weeks like we normally do to grow them out. We've just been maintaining the birds. That way we don't end up with way too much invested in the chicken. All right, one whole bird, 3.12.7. So almost a 4-pound carcass. And remember, that's minus the neck and the back. That's a perfect frying size chicken. I'm gonna speed this thing up and let you watch us process all of these birds. Y'all, I know that was probably extremely fast. It was intended to be that way. It wasn't as fast for us. So 25 birds done. We've done 50 now. We're done. We did a whole bunch of quarters on these cut, pieced out a whole bunch too. But y'all, I think we're, other than cleanup, we're about done with chickens for this year. We are done with chickens. We're done with chickens, y'all. Still got some beans to pick and stuff out here, but we're not going to bring you along for that. I think we've brought you along for enough. Guys, we hope you have a good day, a great week, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high, we will see you on the next one.